Hi there guys, and welcome to this battle between myself, Quadros and Ashurt from Cerebi Chat. He leads with a Glissaur and I'm leading with Aerodactyl, because this is my OU team that I'm still testing. I taunt, but he decides to U-turn, which is a pretty good idea, and switches out to a Lapras. Which kind of scared me, but it's okay because I managed to at least I get my stealth rocks up, and that's really all Aerodactyl's job is. And then I get taken out by the inevitable ice beam, which is, fair enough. Down I go. And it allows me at least to get a sweeper in early on in the game, which I do. I bring in my Scizor Slice and Sword Stance. And now Lapras uses Perish Song, which is really cool. It's a really cool set actually. I assume Surf was the last move, but I Bullet Punch and don't take him out because this Lapras apparently is solid. And he Confuse Rays. See, I told you it was a cool set. And now, obviously, I've got one turn in the bag, but if I don't switch out after that, I'm kind of screwed. So it's a really cool set, but I get lucky and I hit with my Bullet Punch and down goes Lapras, but it means my sweep's at an end. I've got to switch back now because I'm confused. I've got one turn left to Perish Song, so my Sword Stance has kind of gone to waste, and he brings in the best Scizor counter in the game anyway, so never mind. Switch back out, go to my physical wall, Quagsire Swampert. I love this Quagsire, and I think you'll see why in this battle. Heart decides to hit and run again, which is fair enough, and goes out to Gallade, and obviously I'm going to fear the I was kind of expecting him to stay in maybe Sword Stance or something, or think that he could take it out, but I switch out now fearing the Leaf Blade and go to Flinch, my special wall, my Togekiss, and I take a close combat in the face, which actually is the opposite of fun. And yeah, I take serious amounts of beatings on that. Not a huge fan of that, to be honest. But I do manage to get off an Air Slash, which is cool. I was hoping to kill him. Obviously, I didn't. And I get Ice Punched to death, which kind of sucks. Togekiss I love, but didn't do so well in this battle. And now I can come out to Dreidel, my Hitmontop. He brings in Heracross. I Rapid Spin, expecting the switch and thinking that if he did stay in, then maybe I could live a close combat and Rapid Spin him to death, which would be hilarious. Then I Mach Punch, which doesn't do a huge amount of damage because I've got Bug resists fighting, and I take an Aerial Ace to the face from a Heracross, which isn't great, but I'd managed to live it, which is quite cool. And I decided enough of that, switch back out to my physical wall to take another Aerial Ace, but Swampert just laughs at that. That's a critical from a Heracross. Yeah, I'll just eat that, thank you. He understandably switches out to Venusaur, which I feared, obviously. I went for a Toxic, but of course Venusaur's half poison, and Grass is kind of the scariest thing you can throw at a Quagsire, so I decided to switch right back to Scizor and take the Leech Seed. I obviously saw that switch coming. This is kind of a crucial part of the battle. He protects, expecting me to start hitting, and I go for a Sword Stance because, to be honest, if you've got Sword Stance on your Scizor, hitting something without it is kind of a waste. So he's gone back to full health, but I've got Sword Stance, and now I've got Technician boosted, Stab boosted, Bug Bite going down, which takes Venusaur down and eats the Lumberry, because, why not? That's hilarious. And that was one hit. I didn't expect the one hit, and then I do something stupid. I should have Bullet Punched here, but instead I went for Brick Break, but of course, Lucario is faster, and of course he's going to take out my Scizor, and that's the end of Scizor. But I do get to bring in Hitmontop again, and it turns out that Hitmontop earns itself here, flinching obviously because of Fake Out, and then Mach Punching it to death, which is pretty cool. Just take it straight down. Technician is an underrated ability on Hitmontop in my opinion. It proves itself there, taking out the Lucario, and then in comes Glissaw, and I can't do anything to Glissaw with this guy. This is a revenge killer. So back comes Swampert to continue the duel with Glissaw. Wasn't sure what to do. I know it's going to U-turn. It's obviously going to U-turn. So I went with Toxic, I think. Toxic? Yeah, Toxic. There we go. I knew all along, honest. I'm going to go ahead and see if Swampert can take on one of the heaviest hitters in OU. Here it comes. Here comes the close combat from a Heracross. And oh, I love it. Look at that. Just lives it easily. Absolutely loves the close combat. Eats the close combat. Probably couldn't take a second, if we're honest. Even with the recover. But that's okay. Did its part. Might be able to live a second. Don't really want to try. He switched out. Okay, never mind. Not too bothered then. But yeah, I'll take the recover because I was expecting another close combat. I was expecting to be able to live the close combat, if I'm honest. And here comes Gallade's attempt. And he does close combat again, and just like half can take a Gallade's close combat as well, because Quagsire is awesome, and he takes himself out on the Life Orb, which is quite cool. Yeah, now I've got half health, which means Heracross will take me out. But I'm okay with that because he's going to die really quite quickly anyway, so I'll just switch out some death fodder, and thankfully Dreidel on his 9 HP is up for it. So takes the close combat. And yeah, Heracross I was hoping would die here. Turns out not so much. So I'll bring in Houndoom. Luckily I'm quicker and I can just flamethrower that thing down. And yeah, it's Houndoom versus Glissaw with my awesome Quagsire in the bag as well. So at this point it's pretty straightforward. My Dark Pulse does a huge amount of damage, but obviously not enough on Heart, who easily earthquakes Houndoom to death. But that's okay. I got this. I got myself a Quagsire who's well up for anything. So yeah, in comes Quagsire, and yeah, this is awesome because normally people would have DC'd by now, or just run away. But Ash keeps at it, which is pretty cool. He's got himself a Lumberry on his Glissaw, which is a bit of a pain, so I've got to Toxic it twice because obviously I can't Earthquake it until it roosts. He keeps on Earthquaking. I've got to get a recover off, otherwise I'm going to die next turn. He's doing actually quite a lot with his Earthquakes, considering it's not Sweeper. That's quite a hefty bit of damage that he's dropping on my Quagsire. Yeah, here comes another Earthquake. At this point, I think I'm just going to try and PP stall him down. I'm Toxicking him, obviously. I can take at least 2 Earthquakes. I'd say 3 Earthquakes at this point I can easily take. So I've got this. He Earthquakes me again. I use Encore. And now it's literally just a case of recovering off his damage and letting Toxic kill it, or kill him next turn. That's all good. And then, of course, this happens. In comes the Earthquake, which I'm going to live easily. But nope, I get critted. And that's awesome. It's like the best game I've had in a long time. And Ash did really well. It was a really good battle, so thanks, Ash.